And let's begin. Okay, so one of the things that it's interesting whenever I pause on Sundays to see what's there. The post I wrote yesterday and the email I wrote yesterday has been, well, last time we met, I talked about the backgammon pieces because I made a video years and years ago about how there's going to be this split in consciousness, really. Let me talk about what that means just really quickly. So up until now, all of us, for the most part, we've been all kind of in resonance with the same consciousness. And there may have been outliers, like Jesus, people along the way who were able to kind of shift far enough away from like the collective consciousness. But overall, the bulk of us stay in resonance and consciousness. But this is all shifting in these times that we're in now, where there is a split, where there will be people who continue to be more in resonance with the 3D way of being, which is really about the lens of separation, kind of still operating with that consciousness, which is also the consciousness of war and conflict and divide. And then there are those of us who are shifting our awareness into our divine state, where we will learn how to harmonize our divine essence with our human essence. And as we do that, we become more coherent. This is that term coherence, heart coherence, which starts to essentially create harmony within our field, so that we stop looking through the lens of separation. The reason why we're looking through the lens of separation is because within our field, there's so much noise and stagnation and fragmentation that we're separated within ourselves, right? But then there's those of us, and I said, there's kind of the awakening, those who've chose to awaken, right? And then those who are not choosing to awaken, because so that they can stay in the 3D and play the role, the polarizing role that the 3D reality needs. So all of us who've agreed to go into the 3D, we do that under the agreement that when we enter, there's going to be dark and light. There's going to be negative and positive polarity. And, and we do that because our soul desires the journey back home. So it's like I say this, like dropped into a soup of literally darkness, and we make our way back home through it. And through that process, we pull out the God within us. So right now, there are those who are consciously awakening, us right here, and other communities. And then there are those who are awakening, who have agreed to awaken during these times, but they're not conscious of it. And part of what my email and my post is about is what we're doing now for those of us who are consciously awakening is not only are we cleaning up our field to create harmony within, which allows us to feel more in alignment with Creator, which then changes our lens so that we're looking through the lens of love, which is oneness, versus the lens of ego, which is separation. Okay. So that's the good work we're doing now, in the midst of all that is purging, all that is, coming up to clear, to confront, to reckon. And this is why my message is always consistently the same, because I am very aware that these kind of geysers will continue to erupt in the collective, because in the process of confronting the crisis, there will be people who learn how to look at things through the lens of love, and people who will want to join the divide. Okay. And for those of us who are consciously awakening now, it can be very seductive to want to join the energy of war, which, this is what we're training to do when we look at people and how they're deciding to show up right now and what they're saying, feeling their energy. Is their energy, right? They could be, saying very altruistic things and talking about the higher good, but their energy behind it is the energy of war. and conflict and divide. Okay. So this is why those of us who are consciously awakening, we start to learn discernment, because we start to say, well, okay, now that I'm becoming more conscious, I have greater responsibility to really walk my talk. If I really am I here for oneness and unity, I have to, like, everything I show up for, is requesting me to pause, check within first, am I feeling clear? Am I feeling connected to my heart? And then engage in whatever, because that will change the consciousness behind it, right? Everything that's shifting on the planet is actually a shift of consciousness. We can't change old ways of being with old consciousness. This is all about approaching things with a new level of consciousness, which is looking through the lens of harmony and oneness. And so really, not only are we here today and every Monday to show up for ourselves, to continue to do the good work, and it's not just in Monday, it's, just throughout the day, how can I become more present, right? How can I be more comfortable with stillness? How can I start making choices? And it's in the mundane choices, my friends, that are the hardest, right? I say this often because this thing right here, it wants to pull us into distraction. And it's about saying, okay, let me give myself some time to be on the phone, but let me know when I'm starting to feel burnt out or depleted, and let me know when to put it down. And then go outside, place my hands on the ground, place my feet on the ground, and recharge with the earth, come back home. The more stretches we're doing that throughout the day, the more coherent our field is becoming. The more coherent our field is, the more light we can hold. Okay. The more of our light we can hold. And then the higher our frequency becomes. And the more our frequency starts to raise, the more integrity we're going to have, more in alignment of how we're showing up during these times. And we will actually have the wherewithal, because we've been practicing being the observer, to pause before engaging, so it's not a reaction, right? Because the reaction usually is just unconscious meeting unconscious. So today, when we think about coming into coherence, remember this: for all those souls who are part of the awakening school at this time, who do not know it yet, over the next few years, those stirrings within them are going to get louder. Okay. So you might see, it's interesting because I always have people ask me, like, I see people who don't seem like they're affected at all by what's happening. Well, it might be that they're just that repressed, or they can really, really live in denial, which is going to get harder and harder over the years. Or they're just not in the camp that wants to be a part of the awakening. Okay. And this is also when we start looking at things through the lens of oneness, which is non-judgment. It is what it is. All right. They're in a different school. And at some point, the split in reality is going to be different, where it's going to be those of us who are choosing to align our consciousness with Creator, to remember that we are co-creating within ourselves and with the universe in everything that we do. We're going to start having a whole different reality. And it's not that we won't see people who are maybe choosing a different reality. It will just be that we're just tuning in to different radio stations. And I know that you can all start to feel that already, right? It's like a topic it's just like we're just listening to different radio stations. And there's a whole grieving process oftentimes that we have to go through, because that can be really painful, right? But also we are equipped for that. That's part of the strengthening that our soul has done to get to this point. So that's what I'm here, is just for those reminders. And today, we're really, I can feel something in the field right now building. I don't know if you guys have been able to feel it. I don't think the Schumann I don't think anything's spiking right now. I don't think the solar flares are activated or the geomagnetic storming, but I can feel something happening. I can, because I usually can feel it right before it happens. And I slept okay last night, but the night before I was very like just very active. So something's starting to build. And because of that, I just want to ensure that today we really clear anything that we're holding. We're going to clear out our sponge, because when the energies pick up very soon again, the more that we're clear and present, the more that we can stay in flow, and that we can continue just clearing whatever it is that those energies are activating within us, right? Because the reason why it becomes hard is because we start moving into resistance and then we get backed up. So let's just spend some time clearing, and we're going to feel the inner sun within us. This inner sun is uniquely yours. It's uniquely yours, and it's also everything at the same time. Okay. So someone's coming in. The more that we are aware of the sun within us, right? That the more that we are aware that everything that sustains and supplies our life is from that sun. That we've been told otherwise. We've been trained otherwise, that everything that we need for a strong, healthy, vibrant life is found outside of us. And that's the shift that we're also going. It comes from within. It comes from within. And so the more we feel the sun, the more we start flipping that switch to knowing that if we have some problem outside of us, let's just say there's a financial concern, there's a health concern, whatever it is, and we get into a moment of panic or worry, the moment we move into that worry, we've moved into disconnection from that sun. Okay, so that sun can't help us anymore. But that's also the invitation. Ooh, I just had a panic, or I had a worry. I'm now in isolation. I'm now in separation. So let me pause, come back in, feel that sun, know that that sun is what supplies my life. And the more we redirect, the more we start trusting, and we start seeing that with our eyes, which then strengthens the trust even more. So that's what we're going to do today too, is feel that inner sun. So let's take a moment. Let's bring our awareness in. Let's do 4-7-8 to begin. And I always have this disclaimer. If the 4-7-8 doesn't feel good, then just shift back to just natural breathing, natural conscious breathing. All of us have different nervous systems. And so the 4-7-8, for some of us, can be really relaxing, and it can move our body into parasympathetic. It can oftentimes activate the vagus nerve. So just listen to your body, whatever feels right. And I invite you, if you feel called, to place your hand on your belly and your heart. Just have a moment with your physical body. It's like your higher presence surrounding your physical body, feeling the blessing of this physical vessel that's holding you. And you are holding it as well in this beautiful harmonic relationship. And let's take a nice deep breath in. So we breathe in for 4 counts. So breathe in for 4. Hold the breath for 7. And then exhale, breathing out for 8. Breathing in for 4. Holding it. And then exhaling. Two more times. Breathing in. Holding. And exhaling. And as you exhale, just feel your body soften, breathing out any tension your physical body may be holding. And once again, breathing in for 4. Holding the breath. And releasing. So as we start shifting in, I do want to say something that might bring us into our thinking brain, and then we'll let that dissolve. But for those of us who are consciously awakening, we knew it was going to be difficult. We knew we were going to feel alone at some points. There's no guiding book, it's like we're literally forging our own way. And because of that, they want to remind us that we have so much help. Okay. We have so much help from higher planes, beings from higher planes. And this is also the motivation to come in and be still and feel coherent and balanced, because the more we do, the more we can feel that powerful presence that is with us. They're like, listen, because some of you agreed to awaken earlier than the masses, we assure you that we have so much support for you. And I can feel that actually right now as I'm speaking. But we have to practice getting out of our ego and getting out of our thinking mind so that we can feel all of that powerful, benevolent presence around us. So just pausing here, we'll first call in our ring of light. We're calling in the ring of light. We're calling in our angels and our guides, asking them to be a part of this session with us. And just pausing as you feel them surround you in a circle. And let's bring our awareness down towards the ground and just breathe into the ground. Or wherever you bring your attention, you bring your energy. So this is a simple way to direct your energy down, fill your whole body with your energy, with your essence, fill your whole field with your essence. And also naturally connecting with the earth plane, because that's why we're here, to coexist, to be in harmony with the earth as well. And so when we just direct our energy down, our attention down, there's no need to do anything, to think anything. We just naturally become more present. We naturally reconnect with the earth plane, which allows us to feel even more rooted and grounded so that we're not floating around. We're fully here. And let's just pause in stillness as we feel more presence come alive in our being. If your mind is chatty, just notice it, because you're shifting into the observer. You're shifting into the awareness that's beyond your thoughts. So your observer can notice your thinking. And so the moment you start thinking, you just say, oh, I'm thinking, or thoughts, or let me redirect. Okay, so then it's your higher presence that notices that you're thinking and then redirects back to your breath over and over again. It's like going to the gym. And the more we do this, the more easily it is to do in our normal everyday life. But we have to practice. This is actually the most powerful part of sitting in silence, is noticing when the mind starts to wander. That's when the magic happens, because the moment you notice is the moment you have choice. Do I continue thinking or do I redirect? And so just redirecting to the breath and pausing here. And as we pause here, let's bring our first attunement in. So those beings, not only your family of light, but also the beings that have agreed and partnered with this awakening journey that we are in. So we are feeling the presence of the higher beings right now who are surrounding all of us right now in this powerful offering of frequency. And so as we breathe, may we also be open to receive the frequency coming through as an invitation. So it moves through, you can move through into your field, into the crown of your head, and it invites you to start raising your own vibration. That's what this frequency does. So just pause as we start to feel our frequency begin to raise, strengthening our inner light. The stronger our light becomes, the more that what is not us starts to just clear out. So let's also hold the intention to clear away any interference in your own field, as well as any interference in your atmosphere around you. You can also ask your guides and your angels to support you in this intention to clear away any interference, anything interfering with you becoming more present. We are clearing out right now. Anything that you need to let go of, that you need to empty. Again, not overthinking, just holding the intention to empty, to clear, to let go of whatever is not you, whatever is not true, whatever is not love. Just let it go. Breathe it out. Release it. Ask your angels to take it. Beautiful. And so this is allowing us to get even more present in our field, in our energy system, in our chakra system, in our physical body. And so I invite all of us to bring our attention to our heart space. And let's do 4 counts in, 4 counts out. So with the heart energy, all the heart needs to activate is your attention. That's it. That's why heart coherence is as simple as just pausing and breathing into the heart. Sometimes we minimize the impact of our presence, but remember, you present is your most powerful offering because you present is just your light, powerful and strong. And so bringing your presence right now, directing that to the heart and breathing into the heart for 4 counts and out for 4, in for 4, out for 4, in for 4, out, in, out, and stay with that sequence, continuing to bring your full attention to your heart as I invite you to subtly clear away your human identity. So just letting go of your name right now, your age, where you live, all those things, just let it melt away so that you can just take a break. So you can feel your infinite nature, not only through your presence, but also feeling oneness with your heart. And the heart field is the gateway to the field of one. And so the more that we just start to melt into the heart space, the more we start moving into harmony, into oneness, first within ourselves. And so as you drop into the heart is a tool, a powerful tool. Think of it as a tuning fork. It's tuning your whole field into coherence right now. So it's balancing your thoughts and your emotions and your physical body, all essence, all layers of you into perfect harmony. And the more coherent you become, the stronger your light is, the more access to your life force you have. And so as you breathe right now, I invite you to feel your sun. This sun that you hold is what sustains you. It's at the core of your soul. It's what you bring into every lifetime. It holds everything within it. And specifically, it holds whatever you need to fulfill your destiny in this lifetime. And so just breathe into the sun and feel this sun fill your whole body with its codes of remembering. So it reminds your human body that you are divine, and your nervous system that you are divine. And once the human remembers and the nervous system remembers, it starts to move into ease and out of survival. Feeling that sun continue to expand as it moves into your emotional body, which is the layer right next to your physical body, expanding into your mental body, clarifying every thought so that it is in service to harmony and love, clarifying every emotion so that your emotions are in service to harmony. Feeling that sun continue to expand so that it's filling your entire field. And may we just pause here. The more we come into harmony, the more the lens in which we look out into the world starts to shift into harmony as well. The word love is really about oneness. It's about being able to be the presence before duality. And we need more of us doing that on this earth plane. And then let's bring our awareness back to our breath as we pause. In stillness, in presence, in commitment to harmony, to non-duality, to oneness, to love. And first, we need to offer that to ourselves. May we be the change we see in the world. May we continue to strengthen and clear our vessel so that we can hold the consciousness that we are birthing into the world, the consciousness of oneness. And let's take a nice deep breath in, breathing out. Shields up, just place a nice protective shield around you just to reinforce your boundary so that you're not absorbing whatever's clearing in the collective. And we close with these words, and so it is. And so it is.